Another reason.
Perfect. Okay. So, first, I believe we're going to talk about gut health tonight, and then the 4-week gut protocol in 4 weeks for everybody, kind of what it's about, how it works. And some of this is going to be expanded into the next sessions because I don't have the whole program yet. So we're going to go with what we know and we'll keep talking about it. But just a little refresher. So we did do a gut health nutrition happy hour, and I'm pretty sure it was like August 26th because I looked up in my notes kind of what we talked about there. So it's sometime in late August, if that's not the exact day. And so that is where we covered things like dysbiosis and how the American diet is not filled with things that are helpful to your gut. And we talked about different things like the fact that 80 to 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. So it's like your second brain, but some people are almost feeling like with new studies, it's kind of your first brain. I mean, it's one of those things where it really controls so much more than we knew, expected. And that it's just become a real point of study at this point. So there's a lot more coming out about it. There is a lot more information. I mean, how many times do you see products right now that are pro and prebiotic? Right?
So many.
Yeah, all the time. So just real quick, we'll cover just some things about gut health, like what those signs are, and like just some generalities about gut health. And then we can talk about if anybody has any questions about that. And then we'll go into the 4-week gut protocol. So I mentioned dysbiosis. So this dysbiosis is when you have too much of what's considered the bad bacteria, the bacteria that doesn't benefit you in digesting, absorbing, breaking down that food that comes in. So really your gut is made up of all these little bodies that are working to either help you or help themselves. And they're working on digesting, breaking down those foods so that your body can absorb those nutrients in your system. Different things are absorbed in different levels of your intestine, your small intestine, stomach, all that kind of stuff, right? So the other thing is, so dysbiosis is bad bacteria, an overrun of bad bacteria, which is fairly common. And then you also have what's called leaky gut. Okay, so there are things that can come through the gut that are irritating, and it's like little micro tears. And then there's also things with inflammation in leaky gut. So depending on how long you've been irritating the system, your leaky gut can be, a little, can be a lot. And so when we're talking about gut health, it may require taking out foods that are causing these irritations. So then the gut linings can heal and the leaky gut is no longer an issue. When you have leaky gut, you're not absorbing the nutrition in the same way you would if your gut was healthy. So it's like you could, Autumn briefly talks about how she was eating all these wonderfully nutritious foods, but because she had dysbiosis, because she had leaky gut, she wasn't taking in the nutrition. So it was just going through her system and not benefiting her. So, and some of that too, like we've talked before about having availability of lots of nutrients, like micronutrients, because sometimes you require certain micronutrients to absorb another micronutrient, right? So there are things like that at play too, like maybe your body's not getting the overall picture so that it can do the right absorbing. I know I'm talking about those terms in generalities, but it's just one of those things where this is where we talk so much on this call about diversity in your food, nutritious food, and all of those things are super important and benefit a healthy gut. But if your gut is already struggling, you may not be seeing the full benefits of those things. So that's why this program, I think, is going to be such a game changer, because it's like we're getting back to a better place, a better base. It's kind of like starting your workouts and you get a good base of fitness going, and then you're able to really, rise up and tackle a harder program. We're getting a good base in our gut. We're going to be adding in those good bacterias. We're going to be feeding them with the probiotics and the prebiotics, and then it's going to operate much better. And those of us who've done the Ultimate Reset, that's exactly what the goal of that was, right? Letting your gut heal, taking out the things that would cause stress, that would irritate it, that would cause inflammation, and letting it get a chance to heal. So let's talk about any questions with gut health, or maybe things you are curious about, heard, want to say about it. Then I don't have to talk, through. I feel like I'm just like on my soapbox right now.
So I'm assuming that sugar is a stress to your gut health.
Yeah, and some can be more than others, right? Like we've talked a little bit about some of the artificial sugars, like those can be an extended irritant. Mm-hmm. I would say like we've talked a little bit about like I think Shakeology right now has the organic, or well, it's not organic, but a cane sugar. So that has some fiber. And so is it organic? Oh, okay. So it's got a cane sugar in it, and that has fiber with it. It's like a sugar that has not been processed, right? So it has some fiber with it. It has some micronutrients in it. So that sugar is going to come into our system different than a sugar with no fiber to kind of slow down the blood sugar rush without any kind of additional micronutrients. Like we talk about Himalayan salt sometimes, right? That has micronutrients. So it's like when you're getting those things at the less processed level, closer to the plant level, that it originated in, then you're getting the other benefits too. So I don't know, we're not cutting out Shakeology. So we're also not cutting out sugar 1,000%, right? You're going to have some, but you're definitely not going to have things with an artificial sugar. Or excessive sugar.
So in the protocol, it says that are there 7 main things? Did I hear that right? The 7 things that we'll be taking out and putting back in, maybe?
I haven't heard that yet. Do you remember what the list was? I'm assuming
they didn't say what. They didn't say what they were. That was my next question.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I've watched almost all the things she's sent out now. But I would assume dairy's a big one, right? Gluten's a big one. And then from there, I think, we're going to cut out anything processed. It's all going to be real food like we would normally follow on like a portion fix plan. But I'm not sure exactly to what detail the rest of the things will be.
So you don't think she's going to eliminate sugar?
She's going to reduce added sugars.
Yeah, not just like you would in portion fix, right? You're not going to have added sugars as often,
but a little bit more.
I think that's probably true too. I think she does have, I want to say, I thought she said something like with Bobby, her brother, that there would be some desserty things, but they're going to be like drastically cut and with sugars that are more acceptable for digestion.
And she's coming after our peanut M&Ms too.
Yeah, that's not going to be on there.
How long is the gut protocol program?
Well, we'll get into that in a little bit. Yeah, let's just talk about gut health in general, and or if we're ready to go to that. Yeah,
it does say they're going to remove 7
things.
7 characteristically troublesome foods. That you can slowly but effectively remove, replace, and rebalance over the course of 4 weeks.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I do know that she specifically said that she is not going to tell you what she is going to remove. You will have to buy the program.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you can go and Google that and you'll know it because it's there. I did blog articles on it. So, the information is there.
So, but I just need to know, like, you know how I am. Like, if it's one food that I love, I'm going to be like, I don't know about that. Like if she's taking peanut butter out, I might not be able to do it. But
did you have peanut butter during the reset?
the last time I did it, I did do peanut butter. I did it like an informal one. I just did it a few weeks ago. I lost 10 pounds and I did have peanut butter every day. Almost every day.
Peanut butter was one of the snacks that you can have. So
I did have peanut butter almost every day. Not every day, but almost every day.
right.
But no, I was just joking. Like I wanted to know if caffeine would be out for 4 weeks or.
Well,
No.
Energizes is included.
You can
But-
have, I think it's 200 milligrams a day of caffeine,
Oh, great.
But-
Okay.
but it's going to be from specific sources because
Right.
some sources are
Routine,
cleaner
probably.
than others and don't cause issues to your gut as much as others.
Yay. Okay. I'm getting excited.
I mean, I think this is gonna feel like you have more control of the food you get to have versus when we did the reset. You know what I mean? You get to choose things. It's not gonna be a set plan. There's gonna be some recipes exclusive to this that are provided, and then there's gonna be recipes that are in Fixate that work with it. So you'll be able to use those things. And it'll be a calorie bracket. It won't just be a one, serving fits all.
Yeah.
I'm
And
reading.
there's
program
3
recipes.
different levels. There's weight loss, there's maintenance, and there's building muscle mass, I
Right.
believe, or building muscle.
Yeah. So in that way, it is similar to Portion Fix in that it will have brackets. It will have to fit whatever goal you're looking for
Mm-hmm.
with the calorie bracket.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna share screen real quick here and just put this up. So oh, it's blue. Let's scroll down a little bit. So 4-week gut protocol is going to be released on Tuesday on the 15th, and it comes with the 4 weeks for everybody. So the whole idea here is that you're taking even more control of your nutrition, right? How you feel, how foods affect your body. You get to see what foods work and don't work for you. And I think what is going to be such a game changer with this is that Bev and I were talking about this morning. She spent years researching what to do, how to do it. And here Autumn's going to give you it all in a plan so that you can go through, take some things out, know how to take them, bring them back in, reintroduce, I think is her word for it, the 4 R's, and see then how you feel with that food and know if it is an issue or not. Like I definitely, it's funny, like it's been a while since I've had some gluten, and then all of a sudden I had some the other day and it was so gassy and I was like, let's just make a mental note of that, because it's like I also had some dairy that day. So I just kind of want to see, you know what I mean? But this is how it's going to go, right? You're going to see how you feel, see how things change. You will eliminate those things for a set period of time. And I think that's where, especially when we talk about mindset in this group, that's the mindset you have to go in it with, right? This isn't forever. This is for you to see what's working for you. So follow the plan as much as you possibly can and stay with the plan so that you can see what is an interruption for you, what does cause inflammation, what is going to be an issue, what you have a sensitivity to. So let's go down here because I think she has, let's go right here. What's included in it? So this one's a little more generic because she's basically just saying you're removing the most common foods known to cause gut issues. And so there's going to be a set of information that we're going to all watch ahead of time. And then we can, educate ourselves on the program. And then you can start your planning for how you're going to plan out the food for that week. We are going to have the meal prep class at the end of the prep week, I think is how it works out. I think our prep week starts 3/28. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then meal prep is April 3rd. So we're going to have recipes that work with the gut protocol. And obviously, if I pick something that maybe is a sensitivity for you, but exclusive, then I just cook something else during that meal or whatever's happening. The fun of it is that we're all just on Zoom cooking together. But I'm going to pick recipes that she said. What'd you say, Sue?
What day is that again, that you're doing
April 3rd,
Okay.
is Sunday. Yep. And so, and maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll sneak one of the new ones in. Depends on how that's going. Maybe we'll do, maybe I won't leave this one as open, meal prep as open as I usually do. Maybe it'll be one of those that
An exclusive.
Everybody with the blood health.
Exactly.
An exclusive one.
An exclusive. So we'll see when we get closer how that works. I kind of want to see what I have access to, like how many recipes are going to work well, and if it's something we've already made. So see how that works out. So she's going to have lots of information for you to understand how to identify maybe if it's not working for you, how to take those foods out, have recipes that, ways to fix your recipes without those things. And then there is going to be a set of food lists for the containers. We are going to use the containers. There will be calorie brackets. And you will just, match those things up like we've done before with Portion Fix. The big thing too is she is very, very strong on doing the supplements with this. So the reason being, if you're not adding in the supplements are probiotics and then digestive enzymes.
Prebiotics too.
And what was it?
Prebiotics and probiotics.
Oh, sorry. Pre and pro.
Yeah.
And then digestive enzymes. So if you're not adding those things in, it's kind of like giving your body a boost versus just letting things kind of come in, trickle in, if you happen to have something that brings it in. Does that make sense? So it's getting all of the stuff there ready to work, ready to digest. Then the pre and probiotics are there for your good bacteria to flourish, and so that the system is working better from the start. If you were to not use those things, you may still see a difference in like a weight change or things like that, but you may not give your gut enough of a boost to see quite as much healing or digestive power. Okay. So that they're there to just give everything a little boost. So it is available digitally without, but she is very strong on saying, do it. Because if you're going to do this program and go through this 4 weeks, do it with all the tools. And on that same note, she is saying, Autumn is saying vegan Shakeology only during this plan. So if you are a regular Shakeology user, you'll want to switch over to vegan for this 4 weeks and for the plan. Okay, so then you also get 4 weeks for everybody. So I know a lot of us missed our workouts during our ultimate reset. And so I'm excited that this is a plan you can do with workouts. And I'm also really excited that this is a no impact, because this is something I think a lot of people will come back to. Maybe you have something that's feeling a little strained, maybe with your form, your knee doesn't feel great or whatever it is, right? Well, there's no jumping here. Everything is feet on the ground, and it will still be with weights. So you're still going to have that resistance training. And a lot of the resistance training is eccentric. So that means as your, I like to think of it as your weights are going down to gravity, like being pulled down by gravity. That's the part in the move you're going the slowest, right? So you're slowing it down. It's more time under tension. It actually helps you build strength and build and tear the muscle more because of the time under tension. So a lot of people use it when they are weight training for, building muscle and building strength. So I think it will be good. I think some people, it'll be interesting to see how people feel about the slowness of the moves. Because I know for some people 640, they felt 645 was a little too slow. And some of that was the stretching, but it was also some of his moves, you were doing at just a steady pace. You weren't trying to do them as fast as you can. So we'll see how I like this type of training, but it's not always for everybody, but I encourage you to give it a shot. And why take the impact out during this? Well, impact can cause more strain on the joints, more inflammation, more things for the body to repair. So she's focusing on repairing what's necessary to keep that muscle, to keep things move, to keep your fitness level during this time versus ultimate reset, you didn't have anything. So some people would lose some muscle. It was hard to retain the same fitness level during that. There's also going to be 4 cycling rides, which is very exciting because I love my bike right now. So yeah. Is there any questions on this part? Are you guys looking forward to the workouts?
Yeah, I didn't realize she was capable of doing a workout without a HIIT component, to be honest.
Right? Or jumping. Who knew she couldn't jump?
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
And there is a sample workout. So if anybody watching the recording of this, get with your coach if you haven't done it already, or just go to your BOD app, and it's under the 4 weeks for everybody tab. And it's right in there, and you can do that sample workout. So in the sample workout, she really covers a lot of what's in the workout. She does, I think, 8 different moves or 6 different moves. So you're seeing a variety versus just repeating like you would normally in the workout.
So that's on Body, right?
No, so it's in your BOD app. So it's not on Body.
It's not on Body. It's
correct.
It's in its own place.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that though, Kim. That's a good point. Okay. So let's talk about, let's say whoever's watching this is not ready to start this now. They want to wait till later or wait till some of it is not early release. So what's going to happen is the nutrition portion of this plan will always remain as a purchase program at this point. So it will require a purchase to get the nutrition information. The 4 weeks for everybody will go into BOD, like our member library in the fall. The 4 rides for everybody will go into Body. And I think those might be available right away in Body, but I'm not totally sure on that. I don't remember.
What did you just say? I'm sorry. I just totally stopped talking. It stopped my braining.
Let me move this and see if it says it. But I think the 4 rides for everybody is going into Body right away.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like the transition to BOD library.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. But I don't know that they will ever go to actual BOD. I think they will only live on Body.
I think that's true. Yes. Cause it seems to be, yes, when things are releasing, some content goes to Body. And then like, if a program's going to, like the exercise program then releases to BOD, just like we have Freak Week and 6:30 and Live It Up.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing here. So yeah. Okay. So, yeah, let's talk about the 4-week gut protocol. What are we missing to know about? Nothing? Okay.
So everybody start, what date is everyone starting on?
So that this will be all released on the 15th for purchase. Likely we'll have links probably late at night on the 14th. But we will start the prep week of the group on March 28th. And we really wanted to have this prep week to make sure everybody really knows the program before we start. So this is going to be like some of our other nutrition programs where it's like you do your studying ahead of time and then we go into the plan. So the 4th would be the first day that everybody's on gut protocol. Day one. So that also gives time for supplements to be shipped. So she did talk about, I know some people maybe want to like get a jump on the supplements, but if you order the reset supplements, which are the same supplement, they are in different quantities. So you'd have to order like a second set of the reset because that's only for 3 weeks, where this is a 4-week program. So you need to wait for these.
And the dosing is different too.
That's a good point. Thank you guys for pointing that out.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you're going to want to continue to take them afterwards, because that's going to be on you. Like I've had people go, well, what happens after I'm done? And it's like, well, that's your choice as to what you do. It's your choice whether or not you reintroduce the foods over the 2 weeks afterwards, or if you keep the enzymes and pre and probiotics. It's your choice.
Right.
So, it'll be like a physical choice, whatever you physically feel like you need.
And it sounds like the more your sensitivity, right? Or the more time you've been exacerbating the sensitivity, the longer you're going to want to stay on the supplements to really help get to the best base you can. Like Autumn was saying that she went off for a little while and it was really clear in her blood work that she had. And so she got back on. So yeah, I think it really just depends on, where you're at with things, what you find during this process. If you go off of them and you're not feeling the same way, but with the same foods, then that would be an indication it's a good idea to add those back in. And there is a price break if you're combining it with the digital program, the supplements for this start, which is nice. So.
Yeah. And I actually have somebody who doesn't necessarily want to do the program. And she's like, but I want the workouts. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's only like $10 cheaper.
$10 different. Yeah, you can just get the workouts, but it's $10 to have it all more.
I'm like thinking, okay, I'm going to send her the price breakdowns because I'm like, it's quite the savings, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't think so. If it was me, I would at least I would pay $10 to see what other videos and content there is.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this, so like we didn't get a chance to really talk about some of the symptoms, but I know a lot of us have seen it just because we've been talking about it on our posts, but tired all the time. If you have a lot of stress happening and this is causing inflammation stress on your body. So that can look like not sleeping well, bloating, irregular bowel movements. It should be regular. There's a whole video on poop that we actually talked about on here on the nutrition call. There's certain things that should be happening all the time. And any of those symptoms, like, also having that brain fog and just, feeling out of whack, those, like, I know when I was having eggs all the time, I started getting nauseous and I had serious brain fog after I would eat the eggs. And I stopped and literally within like a day or two felt totally different. It was crazy. So, those are things that like you may just be living with them for so long that it's just like, you're like, this is how I feel. So that's the importance of taking it out and then reintroducing, because you'll start to feel different. And then you'll feel the difference in the reintroduction with an issue.
Right. Well, I think that what?
Go ahead, Bev.
I think that there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that they can't specifically even say, but aches and pains.
Right.
Like people that have chronic aches and pains, if you're dealing with any type of inflammation, that can be caused from your gut. Chances are it is. I mean, so I'm not saying that it's necessarily being caused directly from a food sensitivity. It may have been caused by stress, overstressing. I mean, and that's a very common thing. People who, I think for me, it was literally the perfect storm that I had created that completely destroyed my gut microbiome. And it was because of stress, that mental, emotional stress, the stress of the workouts. I mean, I was doing 2 weeks of Insanity Max 30, and then I would do 2 weeks of Fix Extreme, and I was rotating them.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was after years of doing like pretty much like nonstop workouts. And rarely, I mean, I would take Sundays off. That was my thing. I would take Sundays off for a rest day, but, and then not sleeping. Like I wasn't going to bed until super late at night. And I was getting up really early because that was what I had in my mind in order to be able to do everything for my family and build my business. That's what I needed to do. And it's like, I ran myself into the ground when I then went on a vacation for 2 weeks and didn't sleep well, added a bunch of like processed foods in.
Right.
And, you know, sugar and gluten that I was eating still before that, but I like just took it to a whole other level because I had it pretty much every day for the 2 weeks. And yeah, I crashed my own system.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's not get to that point.
no.
We don't want to do that. You don't want all the adrenal fatigue and all the stressors for sure.
No.
What were you going to say, Rochelle?
I don't remember right now.
Oh no.
The train will
That's
come
okay.
back.
I don't think it was a serious question anyways.
Hey, Mel, how are you?
I'm assuming alcohol will be off the list for 4 weeks.
Yeah, I would think so. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
I'm good. Sorry, I'm late. I was on another
No
call.
worries. No worries. We're
There
just
is
talking.
some poop tracker that we are gonna do.
There's some poop
There
track.
is just like a poop. She mentioned it. There's like some type of poop tracker thing that they actually use like in a lot of these.
I thought you said poop cracker. I'm like,
Yeah, I thought so too. And I'm like,
What?
it's a poop tracker. I'm like,
I'm on the wrong call.
poop? Yeah. What is happening?
Tracker poop.
Tracker that makes you
How
poop.
exciting.
Yeah, I mean, that
Would
makes
be
sense
interesting.
because then you can track regularity and your poop does tell you a lot about what's happening in the system.
Yeah.
Shape, form, all those things tell you
Color.
how things are going.
Yeah. Yeah, and they do. I mean, that's one of the things that I know a lot of holistic doctors do is they have you poo and check it, test it.
Yeah.
Well, it also tells them like what you're really absorbing probably.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yep, definitely.
and like her, I wasn't absorbing stuff. So it's.
Well, and Shalene Johnson was having the same thing. I mean, that's when she created her whole thing. She also was not absorbing nutrients, and, you know, a fitness person that's eating all the things and kept eating less and less calories, right? Realizing that wasn't helping.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and she was.
Did you guys do that? The 131?
I listened to all of it. I implemented a few things, but I didn't do it fully.
I could not get through I couldn't get through it. It really,
Pretty intense because you go through a whole fasting phase.
yeah.
You add in a whole like fat phase.
And so such low carbs. Like I
Yeah.
think I was doubling the carbs and I still couldn't get through it. Like just didn't work for me at all. But I had a couple of friends that really liked it and did it for years. Like, so it's so funny how everything's individual.
It really is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if you're actually in a chronic situation, lowering your carbs to an extreme level could actually just exacerbate your issue. I mean, that was one of the things that I had to do because I also had an overgrowth of yeast, basically, too. And then you have to watch like how much sugar you're consuming of any kind from anything, from fruit, from vegetables. So I started eating more squash. That was when I found my love for squash, because it gave me something that was carb heavy, but not processed,
Right.
and not overly sugary, but gave me those carbs that I needed for my adrenals.
I think that's how it works for me too. Oh, because I was very happy eating the squash. Although I don't like it so much in the spring. You know, fall is really the squash season.
Yes, I'm with you. I don't know. I mean, yellow summer squash is fine. It's just not my jam.
It doesn't have that same kind of comfortful feeling that a regular squash has, for sure.
No. Oh no.
Let's see. I'm trying to think of what we haven't really talked about with it.
Deanna, did you guys cover my question regarding supplements?
What
was the
question?
So during the cleanse, would you recommend stopping all supplements other than like doctor prescribed type things, so that your body really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what I don't know if she'll cover that specifically, but that is what we did with the reset. Just stopping any kind of extra things that aren't doctor prescribed. And yeah, letting, you know, because the other part about that too is your digestive enzymes that you'll be taking with it are going to help you get more nutrients from the food you're eating, where that may have been lacking before. And you may find you don't need to go back to something.
I think sometimes I was having this conversation with somebody else too today, that I think sometimes, you know, you hear somebody say, oh, you should be taking this and you should be taking that. And so you start taking it.
Right.
Do I need it? I don't know. I'm taking it because somebody said, hey, this is good.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's one of those things where like, I get my blood work done every year. And I look to see some of the things, but D is pretty much one of those things that most winter, anybody living north, right, is going to need a little bit of D, because that's just the way we roll up here with the lack of sunshine and the way the sun, you know, the angle it comes in for us. But other than that, I would, you know, it's worth having panels done or looking into things if you're actually deficient or if you're feeling symptoms of being deficient. But I think it'll be really, it would be really interesting to do blood work before and after something like this, right? To see the differences in how you're absorbing, or if you can do the poop tests or whatever it is, right? It would be fascinating to know how things change. I mean, you'll feel different. I remember feeling when we were doing the reset more satisfied off less, like the cravings totally disappeared. And I would expect a lot of those things also to happen with this, where when you're getting the nutrients your body wants, you aren't craving in the same way. When you're having those real foods, the fiber, everything is, you know, your body knows how to handle those things, versus having the processed foods where they really are manufactured to have you not feel satisfied because they want you to keep having it. So it'll be interesting to see, and we'll have to go by feel, unless you already have appointments with your doctors to get all that done, which would be really cool.
So do you get those blood panels done from a regular medical doctor?
I do. So we have to get them done for our insurance. So it's part of my yearly checkup. And like, if there's something like, I always want my D done, and that's not part of the regular panel. So they do a lipid panel, and then they do, I can't remember what they call it now.
I know mine does a D just because we live where we
Yeah,
live.
see, mine, I had to ask her to do a D, which is dumb because I'm like, nobody in Oregon gets vitamin D naturally, right? We live in the clouds. So, so I have to ask her, she's like, well, your insurance may charge you. I'm like, fine, just charge me, whatever, like, give me the test. But you can, so I do them yearly. It started because of insurance. But you know, it's just one of those things that it's nice now to look in my chart and track how things have gone. And then if you know, that's something, if you have something that seems concerning or whatever, that would be a good conversation then to have with them, or to retest at some point, or try things like, I know we've had a lot of conversations happening about like cholesterol and things. So, you know, retesting on those things, it's a pretty simple thing for them to do, and you know, usually covered. So I don't want to say it's always covered because then I'll get in trouble there, because I'm sure somebody didn't get covered, but yeah, and and all we'll be taking with this, Shakeology is going to be, Shakeology and the supplements are going to be highly recommended. I stopped taking a multivitamin when I started taking Shakeology, and I just do D on occasion. I will add in some C and extra D if like with illness, but yeah. All right. Yeah, so any questions about what's going to be happening? Bev and I were talking earlier today that this plan feels like it's going to be really great for people to start with, even not having seen it yet. You know what I mean? This a lot of times we start on this health or fitness journey because we're not feeling so great, or, you know, not feeling the energy, not feeling like ourselves. And 21 Day Fix and Portion Fix were always kind of what I would steer people to get started with. And I feel like this gut health protocol with the 4 weeks of everybody could be a really great starting point for people to come in and get a great base to get going. And then, you know, flourish from there and expand from there. So that's the other piece about this, is the nutrition plan is made that you can just stay on it. It's not like the reset where it's a finite amount of time and then you don't do it again for 3 or 4 months. It is a plan that you can stay with. You can reintroduce or not reintroduce whatever you've taken out. And you can keep with it. So I think we briefly talked last week. Next week, I'll be flying in to Punta Cana 1 week from today. Yay. So at this point, I planned on not having the meeting. And then the next week, I actually fly back that day. And that's going to be a little touch and go because it depends on if we're late. Because I think I land at 3, which then it's 5 my time. So we're going to be rolling in here right around that time. And I still have to pick up the dog. So that's also going to be a little iffy. But it feels weird having 2 weeks of not meeting. So I don't know if like this line will be open if you guys want to pop on, and we can keep a chat thread going. Like if people want to pop on, or if they're available, or we can, you know, I can just post quickly in the groups, like if we're going to pop on, and we can just kind of leave it there. Or if someone has questions and we want to talk about something real quick, we can always jump on for a little bit and not just have a main topic. So, or if there's a food label you're dying to read, like you're just like, I really want to eat this, but I can't unless I know. No.
We got to get the ingredients for that poop cracker that Bev was talking
Right?
about.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd send that to us, would you, Beth?
You go first.
I don't know. I don't think I really want it. I don't want the poop cracker.
Must be that cheese whiz that you squirt out of the can.
Sounds
Oh my
amazing.
gosh. Poop on a cracker. Yeah. I know. Oh,
Exactly.
that totally took me back to like my grandparents. The chipped beef, you know?
I don't
No,
know
the
if I've
chipped beef.
ever eaten it. That cheese
Poop
on a
on a
cracker.
shingle.
Oh, yeah.
I've had that because it was so cheap.
Yeah. All right, Sue, what's your label?
Okay, so George bought these. They are Ozo Smokehouse plant-based burgers because you guys know I don't eat meat. So
Yes.
it is, the front of it says 22 grams of complete plant-based protein, fermented pea protein, soy-free, gluten-free, 60% lower saturated fat than beef and small letters. It's got 2 burgers to it. The total fat is 12 grams. Total carbs is 7 and protein is 22. The ingredients, the very first one is water, textured pea protein, fermented by shiitake mycelia, pea fiber, canola oil, sustainable palm oil, pea protein powder, vegetable and fruit juice, yeast extract, salt, sugar, natural smoke flavor, natural flavors. That's it. So how's that sound?
Yeah. You know, I've read a little bit about it. Like some people are kind of like, this is a pretty processed food. Right. And some people are like, but it's kind of an option if you're not having meat. So I don't know what the right answer is about that. Like, I think if you eat it and try it and you try to get the burgers with the best ingredients possible. So I don't know, you'll have to compare to see if there's some, that sounded like it had a fair amount of powder.
Yeah.
Versus like, cause I think some of them are soy based,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I don't know. It's a tough question because it does have a fair amount of fat. So you'd definitely be a red and some, maybe a teaspoon.
Yeah, it's got a lot of protein though. And I don't remember what the protein was when she said it, what the ratio was, but 22 grams of protein and then 12 grams of fat. So
yeah, I think reds are usually considered right around 20 grams.
yeah.
So yeah.
So, you know, it's a once every once in a while, I think.
Yeah. And I think that's totally fine. Like, I don't know that you'd want to rely on it daily.
No, I wouldn't,
you know,
I didn't love it that much. It was actually not bad. It, you know, but I wouldn't eat it every day. So
yeah.
anyway, that's my label for the day.
Love it.
Yeah.
Any other labels? Kim, are you bringing peanut butter down to Punta Cana? Okay.
You're not? Oh.
You probably can't get it past customs. I haven't read the form yet, but.
No, I just figured, no, I'm okay when I go on vacation. I think it's more of a habit, like in location, and I've gotten into a bad habit of.
Who's taking a blender?
No, they have a Shakeology bar, and I just shake mine now. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm hooked on cookies and creamy with some Recover right now. Like that's all I do, and I shake it up after my workout, and I'm on my way.
That's my favorite. I've really grown to love cookies and creamy.
I have to try that again then.
Yeah.
At first, I did not like it very much. But adding the chocolate into it, the Recover into it, really.
Do you put just water?
Oh, see, I get orange
ice and water, and I just
shake it. Yeah.
No kidding. Okay. Good to know. I might have to try that.
I was joking about this to Dix. It's like every time I want to blend one, my husband's on the call and he's in our living room, and I'm like, all right, I'll just shake it. So now I'm like used to just shaking it.
Yeah. So I've been traveling with my blend jet and just water and ice, and you know, because it's just, I don't know, it's a little different when you blend it up.
It is.
And
yeah.
First of all, I love this thing, and secondly, I've learned to just use water.
Yeah. I never really did do much more than water. I always really liked water in it.
Yeah.
I always do water too.
Do you?
I'm a water.
Yeah, I would always do like almond milk or coconut milk. And that's kind of one of the things I'm trying to do is eliminate those to see, if that's causing issues. So
Well, I would say, so with that cookies and creamy, the frozen butternut squash in it really is delicious, and add some chocolate too, but really delicious. And it gives you the creaminess like you've added something like an almond milk, or you know what I mean? It's really
I do. I told Deanna this. I do half cookies and creamy, half of original chocolate, which I'll have to switch to vegan chocolate. But I do 10 ounces of water, and I do a half of a serving of organic frozen strawberries and a half of a serving of organic frozen blueberries, and collagen boost. I always do collagen boost. I've been doing it ever since it came out. And it's like so creamy and so good, which I mean, the whey formulas actually make the shakes expand anyway. So, but yeah, it's so creamy.
You guys are making me hungry right now.
I'm going to go do a shake here pretty soon for my.
have to make another shake today.
I'm cooking dinner, so
I just had dinner. Sorry.
Oh, it's late. I gotta go. I didn't realize.
Yeah, we need to get off anyway. Oh, let me take a picture quick.
Oh, I made the picture.
Yay! You made the important stuff, right?
Right. I don't look.
All right, are we ready?
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That was really informative.
Yeah, well, I feel like I feel like a little bit flying blind because we haven't gotten to, read the program and go through it yet, but next week we'll have a lot more information, and we'll share information in the groups, and whatever's coming out about it, and just kind of share how it all is going to go down. So yeah, and if anybody has questions, obviously reach out to your coach, and find out what you want to know.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it was good to see you guys. So I guess I'll see you in 2 weeks, or maybe next week. I don't know.
Stripes tomorrow, don't forget.
Enjoy your trip.
What is tomorrow? Stripes?
Stripes.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Stripes.
Stripes tomorrow.
Oh, thank you.
I don't own stripes.
I don't think I have stripes either.
I don't do stripes.
I don't know stripes, but I have like orange leggings that have like white, really thin like stripes. So I wear those.
Oh, I got an.
It's really just the pattern, you know what I mean. Like it's got, you see like the black and white type of stripe thing, like the lines. Yeah. It's really not stripes. It's fake.
Like space dye? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't know. They're Old Navy.
Oh yeah, that's what they call it on things.
Of course they are.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. We'll see you guys later.
Guys.